Transmission line. This lecture is related to transmission line parameters, Unit 5. The objective of this lecture is to impart the knowledge on the concepts of transmission lines, and outcome of this after this lecture, analysis of transmission line, which include transmission line equation, characteristics quantity, and use of Smith chart. Now for this the syllabus for the Unit 5, and this is for the lecture 1. Line parameter, skin depth, general solution, physical significance of the equation, wavelength, velocity of propagation, and distortion this line. So for the next lecture, the reflection on a line not terminated in ZO, reflection coefficient, open and short circuited lines. What is transmission line? What is transmission line? Two or more line conductor used to connect source and load, hydroelectric generator, transmitter, oscillator. Now load. What is load? Factory, antenna, oscilloscope. That may be the load. That may be the your resistor of value ZO. That is the characteristics impedance. Now initially the transmission line study was there for the power lines, and this was for the low frequency. After that, the later on the development of the communication field, the many transmission line are used for the communication purpose. That may be the line just like receiving the signal from satellite antenna and connected to your TV. Now transmission of lines. So this is the coaxial cable. Generally it is used for many communication purpose. Then this is the two wire line. These are the separated lines. Then this is the next is the planar line. Then this is the basically the microstrip line, in that between the conductor there is a dielectric is there, and this is the wire above the conducting plane. Just like one wire will be there, it will be above the conducting plane. Now what are the parameters of the transmission line? Generally the R, L, G and C means resistor, inductor, conductance and capacitor are the parameter for the transmission line, and these are the discrete parameter or the lump parameter. Now for the transmission line, these parameters are the distributed, not, and so the unit is given as the ohm per meter, length, inductor, Henry per meter, like this the unit is there. So same is indicated by this picture. So your parameters are distributed. So everywhere this capacitor, inductor will be there. Fixed, discrete or just like lump parameter is not given. G is not equal to 1 upon R in the AC resistance per unit length of the conductors comprising the line, and G is the conductance per unit length due to a dielectric medium separating the conductors. The value of L shows in table is the external inductance per unit length, and that is the L is equal to L external. For each line, conductance are characterized by sigma c mu epsilon r is equal to epsilon 0. The homogeneous dielectric separating the conductors is characterized by sigma, mu and epsilon. For each line, LC is equal to mu epsilon and G upon C equal to sigma upon epsilon. Now the parameters calculated for different line, that is the coaxial line, two wire line and planar line, are as follows. Just like for R, it is given for the coaxial cable in terms of radius A and B. For this it is given in terms of the delta A, and for it is given as the omega, delta and sigma C conductivity for the planar line. Okay, so the parameter are like this. So this is the resistance will be calculated like this. This is the two wire line will be calculated like this, and this is next is the L, Henry per meter. L will be calculated in this manner. So this is the parameter, this is the two wire transmission line. G is calculated in terms of Siemens per meter. So again it will be in terms of B upon A, the radius of inner conductor and the radius of the outer conductor. And the C is calculated in terms of mu epsilon D, diameter of wire A, distance, or this is the distance and this is the A wire. In this way the parameters are calculated. Now while deriving the equation, two ways the equations can be solved. The one using E and H are calculated, and using Maxwell's equation and boundary condition, the equation can be solved. The another way is that use the circuit V and I as a circuit quantity, and then the equation is, then the transmission line equation is solved. So here the method that is used is the circuit theory, and the equations are written and the equations are solved. Equations are written in terms of the differential equation, the equations are solved. So this is the one of the example that how the coaxial cable can be connected. The coaxial cable is connected by using the this is the generator source, and this is the load basically. This is the coaxial cable. So this is the inner part of the coaxial cable. This will be the outer part of the coaxial cable. So it is connected, outer part is connected to the negative point of the generator. So whenever the switch is pressed, then the power is transmitted in terms of E and H field, and the E and H field are generated like this. So the circle indicates the H field, and this indicate the E field. So in terms of the E field, the wave is E and H field, the wave is transmitted. So this is the equation related to this is the equivalent circuit for L type of the equivalent circuit. The length of the, while considering the circuit, the length delta Z is considered. So this is the Z distance, transmission line is along Z distance, and the next part is Z into delta Z. So every parameter is per ohm per meter, or so delta Z is multiplied here for every parameter. So it will be, what will be the parameter for this R actual parameter. So it is written in terms of delta Z. So while writing down the, so this model is popular. So whatever the distributed model was shown, that is the equivalent, the way it is represented by this, it is L type of the equivalent circuit model. Now here we can write down the equation. This path we can choose, we can write down using Kirchhoff's voltage law, we can write down the equation. And the second, we are using this for the second equation, we are applying the Kirchhoff's current law. So by using this writing down the equation converted into the differential form, taking the limit converted into the first order differential form. The equations are converted into the second order form, and these are represented in phasor form. So as the j omega is the quantity is coming, these equations are represented in phasor form. So this is the equation, second order differential equation is formed here in terms of voltage, and this is the second equation is formed in terms of current. Now the gamma is the parameter here. Gamma is the propagation constant, we will call it as. It is divided into two parts. One is the attenuation constant and one is the phase shift constant. So alpha is, so this parameter is converted into two form. One is the alpha and one is the beta. Now this equation is basically solve this equation, and we are getting the in terms of this, if the this equation, two parts of this equation, one you are getting the V plus quantity voltage and the E minus gamma Z, V minus E plus gamma Z. This term represent that the wave is propagating in the positive Z direction. This indicates that the wave is propagating in the negative direction. Yeah. And the, so it's combining of the two waves, that is the one is propagating in a positive z direction and one is propagating in a negative direction. Similar, the current is also there. It is I plus again the quantity E minus gamma z, I minus E gamma z. So propagation constant is there. Now from this quantity, the beta lambda is calculated by using 2 pi upon beta, and u is calculated by using omega by beta. So this is indicating that the wave, this part is traveling in a positive z direction, this part is indicating the negative z direction. This is traveling in a positive direction currently, and it is in a negative direction. Now the characteristics impedance is the real part of this equation, is the characteristics impedance, real part of this equation. It is solved, and here the phasor term with respect to time is e raised to j omega t is added. So whenever we are applying this e raised to j omega t and converted this into the ej omega t, we are getting the real part in terms of the cos, and here the plus sign is there. So this is the propagation in the positive direction, this is the propagation in a negative direction. Okay, so the equation of the is that the two variables basically are coming. One is the time variable, one is the z variable, distance variable. Now z0 is calculated by, it is the parameter, that is v plus divided by I plus, or minus v minus I minus. So it is equivalent to rj omega, rj omega l divided by gamma. So this parameter is coming, or it is gamma divided by g plus j omega c. So 0 is coming as the form equivalent to rj omega l, gamma is substituted, so we are getting the quantity g plus j omega c, and it is converted into r0 and x0. So lossless line. What is a lossless line? The lossless line, in that the R is 0 and G is 0, is called as the lossless line. A transmission line is said to be lossless if the conductor of the line are perfect, sigma is equal to infinity, and dielectric medium separating them is lossless, that is sigma is equal to 0. So in the for this lossless line, alpha is equal to 0, because of this parameter, if we are substituting in the parameter, then we are getting the value alpha is equal to 0 and gamma is equal to j beta only, and it is nothing but omega under root LC. Now u in this become omega upon beta, and it is become the 1 upon under root LC, because omega will vanish and we will get the 1 upon under root LC. It is equivalent to f into lambda. For R0, if you are calculating the R0, then we are getting the, if you are substituting this value into this, then we are getting the, this is equal to under root LC. So for lossless line, characteristics impedance is nothing but under root LC. Thank you.